I grew up in a family in the South. From my grandfather, my parents were very proud and very self-determined. That experience of the role that my family played in the civil rights movement and the history that was continually told to us of the role that our family lineage had played in human rights became the fertile ground that shaped me into the person that I am today. So on the one hand, having quite a profound clarity of spirit, and on the other hand, having a great sense of responsibility to my people, to my ancestors, and to future generations in terms of social justice, righteousness, freedom, love, and compassion were very strong in focusing and shaping me into the person that I have become. In 2005, I had the clear guidance that it was time to not just walk, but to really walk the talk of faith and commitment to what I was being called to do in a walk that would take us around the world, across 6 continents, for the next 3.5 years. And then coming back from that, our last walk, the 13 Moon Walk for Peace, which just ended in November. So here I have these 4 major walks that took place over the course of 12 years. And so it's in that space that I learned that what I walk for is the possibility of this emerging paradigm taking root in the consciousness of humanity. I'm very happy with the walk. I'm happy that our ultimate testimony is over 2 years on the walk and we're still here. We're coming into the final 11 months out of the country. I know now that I have a greater level and trust that if something is called forward for all the right reasons, that everything that needs to come forward to support that does come forward.
It is a story that I have looked forward to. Chief Frazier, who had been my friend for quite a while, and he had a project down in Macon, Georgia. He asked would I come to Macon with him, where he was going to interview some of the people who were on a world trip. I was introduced to Audrey and to her group. For the first time, I found somebody who could carry on. So I say to Audrey, keep on, just keep on doing the same thing. You may not ever see the things that you have planted, but it grows and it continues to grow. And though you may not ever know anything, whether it's in Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, or wherever it might be, it's growing. And eventually, this is why God has us here, that people like you and me and others will be able to spread this message of love and of faith and hope.
The United Religions Initiative is the organization that I represent here at the United Nations. It was founded in 2000, and when it was founded, they had a charter signing paper in Pittsburgh. And we also had a ceremony here at the United Nations in the Rose Garden to sign for the United Religions Initiative. Audrey has been a friend, but Audrey also brought the walk here to the United Nations. She helped us open the Season for Nonviolence a number of years ago, probably 2005-ish. Audrey's walk and all the people that she touched, she was talking about the Millennium Development Goals, she was talking about peacemaking, she was talking about bringing respect and all the kinds of things that we work on. And here was Audrey giving up her job, giving up her life in Atlanta to walk around the world and to meet people, to bring them into her world and for her to bring them back to the world at large. It wasn't just to meet Audrey, it was for her to be able to bring all of the people she's met together. She's a real connector. I love her because she really does and lives what she's trying to teach. And for people to have met her, you know that you're meeting the real thing. And it is a thrill to me because Audrey won the Bose Award for the URI, and which involved a very special honor, and to have this named grant because of the work she was doing for the URI, and to know that we had a small part of it when she was here at the United Nations was just wonderful.
I am Ambassador Anwarul K. Chowdhury. I'm from Bangladesh, and I am a former Under Secretary General of the United Nations. My greetings to peace-loving peoples of the world. I'm very happy to talk to you, to tell about this wonderful, brilliant concept of the culture of peace, to create within oneself the inspiration for peace and non-violence. This is what we need in today's complexities, challenges that we face. We need to transform each one of us into agents of peace. Talking about peace should start with oneself, and that is the self-transformation we are talking about. As we live our daily lives, we have to be peaceful and non-violent in our own motivations, in our own interactions, and in our exchanges with the rest of the community, rest of the society. That's very important. A peace should start with oneself. The amount of resources spent on armaments can be diverted for development, for people, improving lives of peoples. The armaments expenditure, as has been said many times, has gone much more than $1 trillion every year. And I think one day's expenditure on arms covers the whole budget of the United Nations for a full year.
The issue of peace should never be far from our minds and our thoughts, because peace is more than just a word. It's action, and it's not a discussion word. There should be mobility. There should be a development of a paradigm for peace. So when Audrey approached me about coming to Newark, I thought, what a great idea. We had a chance to put the concept of peace on the table, and to also develop areas and activities so that our community could see peace in action. We made peace poles. We planted them. We went out into the neighborhoods. We did not stay downtown or in City Hall. And so for, what do they say, 15 minutes of fame, Audrey Scott Williams and the Peace Walkers and Dream Walkers had the attention of the people here in Newark.
The world spends almost twice as much on weapons in one day than the United Nations spends for our global mission of peace, human rights, and development in 1 year.
The world celebrates with the United Nations the International Day of Peace on September 21st, 2013. It is my goal to effect the largest, most inclusive initiative for peace on the International Day of Peace, beginning at 12 noon in every time zone around the world, to ring the peace bell, walk for a mile, and conclude with an interfaith prayer. Imagine a wave of intentional peace encompassing the world, like a wave gently washing over the planet to raise the consciousness of peace. A wave so strong it literally causes people to put down their weapons and hold the space for a possible future of peaceful coexistence. Together, embracing our differences, we will make footprints around the world for peace that will last forever.